Good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Get on over to jerichogreen.net at the conclusion of this video. Now, protect your retirement with a gold IRA. Go to noblegoldinvestments.com. Noble Gold is who I trust. Are you happily putting your life savings on the stock market right now despite the dangers? If you've been thinking about investing safer, you can retire comfortably and sleep at night. You could do worse than talk to Noble Gold experts about the tax advantages and other pluses of precious metal IRAs. Of course, you might love uncertainty, but if you don't, you can get a free America the Beautiful silver 5-ounce coin with any qualifying plan you start. Call 877-646-5347 or visit noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Of course, you've heard of that terrible incident, and it's still, it's not 100% whether it's a terrorist attack or not, because the definition of a terrorist is someone who carries out violence to further their political agenda. Now, I'm not going to say this guy's name because fuck him, but he decided to drive through a Christmas parade in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Wisconsin is going through it for the past year. But in this place called Waukesha, or I hope I'm saying it right, Waukesha, Wisconsin, yesterday, there was a Christmas parade. There was even a group in there called Dancing Grannies. And victims age in range of 3 to 81. The dead range in age from 52 to 81. And children, like I said, children as young as 3 were injured. And a 3-year-old and any child laid out, body mangled, scraped up. It's a horrible thing. It's a ripple effect. The people, not only who were actually hurt, but their family members, the people who were there and saw the carnage, heard the screams. You can see the video. I'm not going to put a link to that shit. If you want it, you can find it. It's terrible. This red SUV comes flying down the street and runs over all these people. 5 dead so far and 40 plus have been injured. And I went online and I looked around at the different news outlets and the different ways that they worded their headlines. And the worst offender was CNN, of course. They said that the suspect had been named in the case and he may have been fleeing a domestic situation, a domestic disturbance. Like what he was doing beforehand would excuse him from what he did. And they left out some key information. Now, the reason you haven't heard shit about the suspect in this, and the reason they've only referred to him as the suspect, is because the colors are off. If the colors aren't right, they won't touch it, no matter what. If it's a child or whatever, if the colors don't match up through their prism of bullshit, they're not going to talk about it. So that's why they've been quiet as a dead church mouse on this one, and they just call him the suspect. The reason is, and you already know, but I'm going to say it anyway, is because he is too low on the color chart for them to give a shit. The perpetrator, the suspect, is black. Well, he looks like he's half black. He's lower on the color chart. He's too low to give a fuck about. So they're not mentioning it. Now, his victims were white. He was black. Why didn't they say anything? Because you know damn good and well, if some drug-addled white man were to get in his SUV with his Confederate stickers on it and his fucking Trump 2024 all over it, breathing fire from the engine compartment and ran over a bunch of black folk, you already know how this shit would be spun. Number one, the race would be first and foremost. A white suspect ran over just some innocent black people celebrating Christmas. If it was a predominantly black parade and this white man ran those people down, that's all they would talk about is the race. They would dust off Al Sharptongue's life support looking ass and put him there in the streets of Waukesha talking about how the needle hasn't moved for race relations in America. How this is more white supremacy. That's all they would be talking about. But since the colors aren't wrong, since they're flip-flop, the victims are white, the perpetrator's black, they don't give a fuck. And that is horrible because this man has a racist footprint on the internet. Shout out to my man, right-wing angel, Oliver Mack. He put up a tweet that shows this guy talking about, oh, it's time to knock off white people. It's time, even if they're old, knock out old white people. Who gives a fuck? Now, if some white man had put that up on Twitter, and this was last year he said that. If he put that up on Twitter, it's time to start knocking off black people, even old black people. Knock their old black asses out. If he said that shit and then pulled off something like this, they would be interviewing his neighbors, his co-workers, his third grade PE teacher. They would have a microphone in everybody's face talking about what a racist piece of shit this dude is. President Biden would be out there with his shaky liver spotted ass, forgetting what he's supposed to say. Nancy Pelosi, aka David Lopan, her stupid, corrupt, demonic ass will be out there too. Loco Cortez and all the four whores of the apocalypse will be out there talking about, see, this is evil white supremacy. But all those sorry bitches are quiet right now because the colors aren't right. How many more instances need to happen before we realize they don't care about us? It's about power. It's about maintaining their stranglehold on our activities and our feelings, keeping that divide alive and well. It's a bottomless pit. When all else fails, get to the race well. Throw that bucket down there. It'll bring up a steaming pile of racism, I guarantee it. This shit is sad and disgusting, and why this fool is still alive, I don't know. Now, there were a series of failures that led to this, but ultimately it's his fault. He's a sick piece of shit. It's his fault. But he's out on, they said that his bail was set embarrassingly low. He was out on $1,000 bail after he ran somebody else over at a gas station. They caught this dude with meth. They caught him with an illegal gun. He got in an argument and shot the gun at somebody. He ran someone over with the same SUV before. I think he got out of $500 bail on that one. Now, they may have a hand in this, but ultimately it's this fool's fault. He's a sick piece of shit who got in his car and ran down a bunch of kids and old people. Dancing, you've been to a Christmas parade. You know who's out there. People lying in the street. You get out there early to get a seat. You got your fold-up chairs, your blankets, your hot cocoa. You've been there before because you went there the first year and you were ill-prepared. But the second year after that and the subsequent years after that, you're prepared. You know what time to get there. You know what to bring. You know what the best spot is. They drive by, throw candies out. Kids run out and get the candy. The fire department, all these different, old cars usually got some classic cars in there. The local band, the high school band, dance troops. It's a good time. It signals the beginning of the holidays. We are people of traditions. You get excited for this. It's cold out, especially in Wisconsin. I'm sure it's getting cold. Actually, here today in California, it's 80 degrees. But it's that time of year, and this dude fucked it all up. How he made it to the police station, I don't know. Because if there was an accidental discharge, I get it. But this scumbag turd, demonic, monstrous piece of shit is so low in the color chart that they don't even mention it. Well, he was fleeing a domestic situation. I don't give a shit what you were fleeing. That does not excuse you from running down people. But wait a minute. What did he not have? He didn't have one of those evil guns. You know when you get a gun and you put it in your hand, it just makes you a murderer. Oh, that's my man Tom. Hey, I'm doing a video, Tom. But my point is, when people want to do something evil, they're going to do it. You can take away all the guns. You can take away all the knives. They're going to get something to enact their evil. And this fool decided to use a vehicle. Shouts out prayers to all those people, the people who lost family members and friends. I know no words will ease your pain, only time will. But that is sick and disgusting, and something needs to be done with this turd. We need to outsource our punishment. The American public does not have a strong enough stomach for what needs to happen to these people. They need to be skinned and boiled alive. Outsource it. Send it to countries that don't have these sensitivities. Who are like, I don't know. Send them to one of them third world countries where they will throw gasoline and set your ass on fire in the middle of the town square. That's where these people need to go. We don't have the system set up to punish these people properly. People have their capacity for evil knows no bounds. Again, I will not say that piece of shit's name. I couldn't find any of the victims' names of the dead on there. Maybe they're waiting for their families to be notified. I don't know. But hey, those are the names that need to be said. Those are the names that need to be repeated, not these scumbags who do this shit. Fuck them. Now let me get in here and hold my family just a little bit tighter. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell, because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass over to JerichoGreen.net. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.